We must pass this bill now to secure our future. This is fiscally irresponsible.
History is not just about breaking chains. It is about what replaces them. Some nations win freedom, but very few survive what comes next. What follows independence is often more dangerous than the struggle itself. Because power does not disappear when empires fall. It only changes hands. On January 26, 1950, India did something rare in human history. It did not crown a ruler. It did not celebrate a military victory. It did not announce a new empire. Instead, it chose restraint. On that morning, India officially became a republic, governed not by a king, not by a foreign power, and not by a single leader, but by a constitution written to limit power itself. Just 3 years earlier, India had gained independence from British colonial rule. The celebrations were loud, but the trauma was deeper. Partition had torn the subcontinent apart. Millions were displaced. Hundreds of thousands were killed. Families were separated. Entire communities were erased from places they had lived for generations. Independence had arrived, but stability had not. The new nation faced questions that had destroyed many countries before it. How do you govern extreme diversity? How do you prevent power from concentrating again? How do you stop a new elite from replacing the old one? How do you make freedom last longer than the people who fought for it? Instead of rushing to rule, India paused. For nearly 3 years, representatives from across regions, religions, languages, and social backgrounds debated a single document. They argued over rights, over power, over representation, over the role of the state, and over how much authority any leader should ever be allowed to hold. This was not just a legal process. It was a test of whether freedom could be turned into a system. On January 26, 1950, that system became real. The Constitution came into force. The authority of the British Crown was formally ended. The final symbols of empire were removed. India became a sovereign democratic republic, not in words, but in law. Power shifted from personalities to institutions, from inherited authority to elected responsibility, from imperial command to constitutional limits. For the first time, hundreds of millions of ordinary people were given a political voice, regardless of wealth, caste, religion, or background. Universal adult suffrage became a reality in one of the most diverse societies on earth. This moment mattered far beyond India. In a world still shaped by colonial rule, India became proof that a post-colonial nation could choose democracy, law, and constitutional limits instead of dictatorship, military rule, or one-party control. It showed that independence did not have to lead to chaos, and that freedom did not have to be ruled by force. But this decision also revealed a deeper truth about human behavior. Freedom alone is unstable. Without structure, freedom fractures. Without rules, power reforms itself. Without limits, authority always returns. History is full of revolutions that removed one ruler only to create another. India's leaders understood this danger. They knew independence was emotional, but governance was technical. They knew unity required law, not slogans. They knew democracy only survives when power is restrained, even after victory. By choosing a constitution over charisma, India chose endurance over dominance. By choosing institutions over individuals, it chose survival over spectacle. This choice did not make India perfect. Its democracy would be tested. Its institutions would be challenged. Its contradictions would remain. But the foundation was different. Power was no longer owned by a crown. It was constrained by a document. Authority was no longer inherited. It was granted, reviewed, and limited. Today, India remains the world's largest democracy. Its debates are loud. Its politics are complex. Its pressures are immense. But its survival proves something rare in human history. That freedom can be organized. That diversity can be governed. That power does not have to belong to the strongest voice in the room. January 26, 1950 reminds the world that independence is not the end of struggle. It is the beginning of responsibility. It is the moment when victory must become discipline. It is the moment when emotion must become structure. It is the moment when freedom must learn to limit itself in order to survive. Why do we learn history every day? Because freedom without structure does not last, and understanding how power is shaped helps the present generation protect it, before future generations inherit its collapse. History is not old. History is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Fidi,